you follow the wisdom of the men who are older than you, and you will always be on the right path. So before Andrew was born, my son, who just turned 13, my wife's uncle recommended a book to me called Raising the Modern Day Knight. The author is talking about, like, we need to create a process to turn young men into, or young boys into men. And since nature won't do it for us, this is how knights did it, and this is how it happened. And so the example he gave was, and it was pretty extreme, but he said, imagine if you took your son to a parking lot and you had all of the men in his life that you look up to, like, the uncles and the grandparents, and they all give a piece of wisdom, and then you blindfold your son, and then there's like some rusty nails and broken glass and a bear trap, and you go, all right, son, you're gonna follow my voice from 50 yards away, and I'm gonna guide you to me without, the rusty nails stabbing you or the glass cutting you or the bear trap getting you. And this is supposed to be the example, the metaphor of, you follow the wisdom of the men who are older than you, and you will always be on the right path. And if he's willing to do this, trust the men who are older than him, blindfolded, etc., and there is fear involved, that's the rite of passage into manhood. And so anyway, after reading the book, I'm like, oh, I can't wait to have a son, I can't wait to have a son. So what I did, there's a kill house owned by a guy named Matt Schneider in Boise, Idaho. It's called Forward Movement Training. He was a Special Forces guy, and then he became a U.S. Marshal, and then he retired from there and opened up his own kill house, where, in fact, the week before SEAL Team 3 was there practicing, room clearing and bank clearing. He's got, in a 40,000 square foot warehouse, cars and wacky little scenes of like a full-on a hotel lobby and a bank lobby and a house that has no roof with a catwalk, so like you can stand and watch. And so I'd met him a year ago, and he's like, hey dude, if you ever want to come out and do this thing. So I took my son and about 8 guys that I look up to, great dads, great leaders, and we went and we were shooting each other up with the rubber bullets, and he was training us, and there was so much fear involved, and it was super scary. And my son went through this whole process, the whole day with us. At the end of the day, we made a circle around Andrew, my son, and I had all the guys link up arms, and I had Troy lead it because I knew I would fall apart and cry, to be honest with you, Ryan. So I was like, hey Troy, this is what I need you to do. And so we all linked up arms, and Andrew's in the middle. Oh man, I'm getting goosebumps. And Troy was like, all right, Andrew, your dad wants you to know that all these men around you here, these are the men that he looks up to, that he works with, that are leaders, that he would trust with his family if he was ever dead. And these are the people that he wants to give advice that we wish we would have had when we went from a boy to a man, 12 to 13 years old. And as we face in with our arms linked, we're here to give you advice, to give you wisdom, and to call you out on your shit when you're not living the path of a modern day knight, Andrew. And then I had all the guys turn around with our backs to Andrew and our arms linked. And then Troy said, again, on my behalf, and your dad wants you to know, when we have our backs to you, it's not that we're turning our back on you, we're facing out to protect you. We're your protectors. And as you grow into a young man, and you're gonna find your own tribe of men who are gonna protect you and be there to give you wisdom. So as we have our back to you and our arms linked, no one can penetrate us. We're here to protect you and fight for you because we love you. And then I had them all turn around, and then I went in the circle with Andrew as well, and I turned on my iPhone. In fact, I'm gonna send you the audio of this. It's 10 minutes and 10 seconds long, and every guy took the iPhone and just gave one piece of wisdom to Andrew. And dude, I'm talking like Green Berets, other Special Forces guys, FBI agents were there, entrepreneurs, one of my head sales guys who's just a great Christian, great leader, and we were all just falling apart crying. And for you to just hear the message that they gave, like, it was a learning experience for me. And so that was like the whole knighthood process that I put him through. And we're flying home, and he goes, Dad, I can't thank you enough. You just gave me like 20 years of wisdom in that one group. I said, buddy, this is what I wish I had. I read this book, and I hope that you read it so that when you have a son that you could pass this along.